number five, what a guider you are. Like, literally, this man is a guider. He literally guided the whole squad like a leader, to be honest. Even though he was crying and shit, he still was like, aim down. And like, he had this cranky voice of himself. So, like, it was a completely different situation at that point, and I was like, wow, we have a cranky leader here, you know. Not only that, but he also saved Mista in a way by like using the cube to melt, like like helping him to come back to his form because of the cube and everything. It was good to see that too. And personally, this is all Mista's doing because obviously it's his stand. But it's good to see that his stand actually cares about him and all of that. It was a good little scene for me. I don't know what it was about it, that whole scene, but it was cool to see that whole scene. Not to mention this whole sequence where Mista like was getting dragged and everything, and then he suddenly comes with the 6 bullets, all of his 6 bullets fired at the same time. This is all cool and shit. Um, for the most of the part, but one of the biggest things that I really enjoyed was how uh, this guy, the thankful death or graceful death, through what I know, is called graceful death. Am I correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I think so. It's called graceful death. So, uh, through what I know, that's what it's called, if I'm correct. Well, I'm not gonna get myself confused, but yeah, this guy who uses the stand, which makes people older, can make himself older too, which is quite interesting because I never thought that that was a thing. When I first saw it, I was kind of surprised with that shit because then he just turns himself old and then just does shit to Mister, which is cool. Well, I was like, whoa, that's surprising because I didn't expect that. Cause he just held Mister's hand and he was like, "Yo, Mister, wanna go?" Like, yo, that was cool. That was cool. That was a good little surprise for us because I was just thinking that was just a normal passenger personally. Cause even for someone who has watched too many anime, that was a surprise for me because I was like, "Wow, that's a little surprising to see that kind of tactic used." But it's cool to see that in a way. And then there was the whole sequence between this guy and the pineapple head, and it was like, this scene was just wow. What the hell? Again, reminded me of a lot of Kira in a way. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of reminded me of Kira in a lot of way, the way he was acting and everything. And I was like, oh, is that Kira for real? Like, are you Kira? Like, and personally, Kira is one of my favorite villains. So all-time favorite villains, to be honest. So yeah, he's definitely top five all-time villains for my personal sake because I loved him as a villain. So yeah, it was that kind of feeling I had when I saw him do this shit because that's some shit that Kira used to do, like but with hands instead of a person. Like he had hand fetish. Just that's yeah. But it was a good old senior, and then uh, this whole thing about him figuring out that the sand abilities only belong to the turtle, the humans, but rather also belongs to the animal. And we know that the animal has a stand now too. To tortoise, turtle, whatever you want to call it, has a stand now. As it's like this thing has a stand. An animal has a stand, like for real. Like we have seen this in Jojo Part 3 if I'm correct, but I did not expect a turtle out of all things or turtle to be a stand. Like what the hell? Like it's not a stand, but to have a stand, that was a weird thing to see. A turtle. Then again, Jojo has always been weird, so that shouldn't be that much surprising for most of the people. So yeah, so that was the whole thing. That the whole sequence was pretty cool. Uh, Personally, I thought the whole fight between Bruno and did I name him correctly? No, I did not name it. It's not him. It's not Bruno. It's Busharati. There we go. Now I named him correctly. I personally thought this whole fight between him and the yellow blonde hair guy was pretty cool. Like the whole fight was pretty damn cool for what it was, and even the thing that where he caught his hand and he's like, "Now I'm got you," and he's like, "Yeah, Well, you got me. I think I have a better option. I personally thought that was a pretty cool scene too. It was pretty cool. The whole episode was done pretty well. I would say it wasn't anything too. I just feel like JoJo sometimes gets fast, and this was one of those episodes where it was just too fast for me. Everything was done well, but it was too fast. It didn't seem like it was too rushed. It didn't seem like it was too nothing like too much content or anything like that in there. Just way too much content in there or anything like that. It just felt it was too fast, I would say, because things were happening too fast in my for my eyes to keep up with. So that's just what I felt with this episode. That again, that's just me, and I feel that about every episode of any anime, any shonen for whatever reason. So yeah. Anyways, let me know what you think about this episode of JoJo, and I'll see you in the next video. As always, peace.